Hey there, everybody. How is everybody out there doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not you.
Oh, sorry.
Just kidding, obviously.
I just want to feel some love.
I know how well you're doing, and so I thought I would ask, I was listening back to a previous episode, and there was one where I asked immediately how everyone else was doing. How are our listeners doing? Basically everybody but you. And it just felt more natural because I know how you're here. If you were bad, I would know it already.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I do show
See what I'm doing there?
I do see what you do.
So I'm going to try from here on out to say, hey, everybody, first. Do you like that, or would you rather me say it to you?
I want me first.
Okay. All right, everybody. Sorry. This is the one show you got to be first. So I wanted to tell you really quick before we even get going here about my kid. We talk a lot about him. He is 3.5, almost 4. I don't want to hear your shit.
You have a 3.5-year-old birthday party and
3.5. He should have like a mini party,
right?
But so they're doing this at school. They're doing a letter of the week.
Okay.
And last week, like for example, last week was E. And then they do a show and tell, and he brought an excavator. Some kids brought Easter eggs. Some kids brought elephants.
That's boring.
Yeah, but excavator was cool, right?
Yeah. Unless they ask him to spell it.
Yeah.
Then he's screwed.
Just bust it out just like it's nothing.
Nope.
You and I would think about it for a while. I don't think I even knew what an excavator was until I had a kid.
Yeah?
So, yeah. But, so I get an email today. This week's letter is the letter P, as in Paul. And
Did he bring a gentleman by the name of Paul in?
No, he just walked.
That would be weird.
Hey, this is Paul. Like I met him in the parking lot.
Yeah. Hey, that's another P word.
Yeah, person, parking lot.
Paul.
Oh, I've also learned there's a lot of P words, by the way.
Yeah.
But so anyway, apparently he walked in and proceeded to pull down his pants.
Oh.
And point to himself and say that he had and she caught him right in time.
Oh. Saved by the teacher.
Saved by the teacher.
I bet the ladies were intrigued.
he might have had a few phone numbers in his
boy
in his backpack next to his water bottle.
That's a high five moment right there.
She basically wanted to let me know that he is fully aware of what a penis is.
Oh, there we go.
So I don't know. I didn't know whether I was proud of him for getting those numbers,
a little fist bump,
or if I was like, son, we can't just take it out anywhere. No. Although, sometimes he'll be at the park and it just hits him all of a sudden and he just pulls his pants down and just starts going. Like, we need to at least find a tree. Anyway.
Enjoy that while you're young.
I don't think it would work.
It is frowned upon when you get to your 40s.
Yeah, and I think you and I were going to do a segment. We should look back at that, about what they can do that we're not allowed to do.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty good.
Because I am absolutely scared to death to pee in a park. There's been a couple times I've been riding and I've got to go. And I will go as far into the damn forest as possible just to avoid somebody accidentally walking by. I don't want them to trip over it.
What about the golf course?
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were on we were on a fairway and we got paired up with a couple other guys and we were sitting there talking about your next shot and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I think you should go for it this side," and all of a sudden we hear. And he was literally peeing on the fairway right behind us as he's talking to us. Do you remember that?
That was like the. That's right.
Holy crap!
I think he was like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all guys out here." I'm like, "No, I don't think it is all guys out here." But to each his own.
I guess.
Just the golf course is the one place where pee etiquette kind of just takes a backseat to anything else. Anyway, but I'm like you. I kind of go into. Anyway, who gives a shit?
I digress.
Yeah, who cares? But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that about my man. He's growing up so fast.
At least he's good with the letter P. There's another word he'll learn soon that starts with the letter P. I'm probably not soon, but
I think if there was one thing that he could have said that would have been worse, like that would be it.
That would have been it.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything worse.
Telling this teacher, you've got a.
Well,
anyway.
That's not how we taught it. We taught it the appropriate word that starts with a V, like in Victor. So on V week,
then he can roll that out.
We'll have a talk before school that day.
Yeah. Don't point this out.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to come pick you up early.
Yeah, we're gonna go with violets, the flower.
Yeah.
Violin, maybe.
There we go.
But anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the Antoine show. If you've gotten through it yet, it was like, how many hours was it?
2.
A lot. And we always said have fun with Antoine. I always want to nudge him along a little bit because I feel like he's got so much to say. And I have a lot to say, but I get it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you do.
Mostly.
Yeah.
And I feel like he has a lot to say, and sometimes he tries to like cap it a little bit, and he doesn't want to. He thinks he's going too far.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, not on this show.
If he knows us, there's never going too far.
No. But I thought it was fun, right?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Always fun with Antoine.
We always talk about how, let's just have these types of topics and this and that and whatever. And then it ends up being, if you listed last episode and whatever we talked about, it's all over the place. I mean, it was everywhere. And so that's what I enjoy about our show, not only our guests, but our show as a whole. So I hope you do as well.
I think I enjoy looking at these little run sheets of notes that we put down as we have our...
I'm telling you, we need to release those or something as far as like a fan pack whenever we get really famous, right?
Right.
Because I do have a huge notebook, and if you just turn randomly back to a page, you're like,
what the hell?
So Antoine was fun, and I have a couple quick things. First, besides my kid and show and tell, did you hear this? The baseball game. There was a father. He's a man, but he happened to be a father.
A man.
And he caught a foul ball with his bare hand.
Okay.
Apparently it wasn't, I saw it. It came in hot. It wasn't like some high fly, take your time with it.
Anything off the bat like that, that's pretty impressive, barehanded.
Well, he in his other hand was a baby and a beer.
Baby and a beer in the other hand? Oh, I bet the wife was
Baby,
proud of
beer,
that.
and baseball. How about that? So he caught the ball and didn't. I think I maybe saw a little drop of the beer, but I'm willing to forgive that.
Yeah, that's okay.
And he caught the ball, had the baby and the beer. I mean, it was just this. And I started thinking, and I said, we give credit to our military.
Yeah.
We give credit to these wonderful people in our world.
Right.
And this guy deserves some kudos.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
You think he got shit from the wife?
Yeah. I wonder if she was there. I don't know that much. But what I also wonder is what would happen if the ball came and I was in that situation.
Be like, ah!
Explosion. The beer everywhere. My kids on the ground. The ball. What if I came away with
caught the ball,
the
though? Beers all over the kids, but you caught the ball.
I'd probably hand it to the kids. I'd be that dad that keeps it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
It's going in my case.
Right.
So I thought that was funny. Before we get into some of the stuff, some of our stuff, I've jumped onto TikTok. I think a lot of you know that are listeners and
I did know
watchers.
that, yeah.
So we're doing a lot of YouTube, a lot of TikTok. So what comes along with that besides the dislike button on YouTube, which has me all riled up sometimes? I've gotten better. We haven't got as many dislikes.
Oh, yeah?
But on TikTok, there are obviously comments. And I got a new comment.
Oh. And
I did a quick video because I've heard that these short little videos for TikTok and YouTube, it's better to be quick and precise.
Short and sweet.
People have no attention
It's like
span.
my sex life.
Yeah,
Quick and precise.
When you think video upload, think about Trey's sex life.
Quick and precise.
Quick and precise, because apparently no one has an attention span. And so I did a video, and I don't even know if you saw it for our. I should probably show you before I put it on our page, but I put it up, and it was simple. It was 10 seconds long, and it was like, why does everybody get so offended by so many things?
It's a good question.
But previously, I had put it up on I think one of the other platforms, and the full version was, why does everybody get so offended? We recently, we did a show recently about a woman who I didn't want to see die, but she died at the hands of a pack of Dachshunds. And if anybody knows,
dogs, yes.
If anybody knows, and I specified, I said, if anybody doesn't know what a Dachshund is, and I was very precise, they're the weenie dogs. And if you visualize, look, I'm sad for this woman and her family. No one wants anybody to die. I mean, I was very serious about that.
No.
However, if you visualize a pack of weenie dogs attacking anybody, don't think about the aftermath. Don't think about what happened. Just think about them attacking. You're going to chuckle. Everyone needs to laugh again. That's what I said. Everyone needs to just laugh again and shut the fuck up. And who cares?
Can you imagine being a family member having to tell that story?
Was it a pack of Rottweilers?
Well, it was a pack of weenie dogs.
Was it wolves or
And know the person listening to that story is going to crack a smile at some point or just kind of walk away and laugh. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I wonder what would happen if the family, when the next time they see a Dashin, do they have like rage towards it, kick it or something?
Kick the shit out of it.
And but anyway, so this dude, I'm calling him straight. He gets on there and he comments and he goes, karma and all this bullshit. And he goes, I expect you to die, and probably in an extra painful way because of what you said.
That sucks for you.
And it sucks for you as well because it's our stay in the gray page.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess so. He's mad at both of us.
He's mad at me, but I'm dragging you with me.
Okay.
But just the fact that this dude, come on. I mean, I even explained it. It's like you can't even, I'm just learning. I'm learning that you can't even explain your way out of anything. I mean, I flat out said, we didn't want her to die. We're not cheering it on, but come on, chuckle, have fun. And then I said on the description of the video, I said, anybody that's like-minded or not, come check us out because this is what we do a lot. We like to laugh at the expense of others, usually. Anyway, so I wanted to bring that up to you because we're getting comments. We're getting good ones too. There's some funny ones, people that have responded, but I don't feel like they're show worthy because we get so many. No, because they're really nice and
that's cool.
I just wanted to call. I mean, really, I'm going to die in an extremely painful way, apparently, and you are too.
Yeah,
and as I throw my pen around, you're part of the team. So
I want a shot at the pack of weenie dogs if that's the case. I feel like I can kick the shit out of some weenie dogs. I don't care how many
still don't understand. Yeah, I still don't understand how she couldn't at least get to higher ground.
Like the next step?
Yeah. How do you not just
a curb?
Just get up here. Just go up. I mean, can you imagine?
Shit.
Can you imagine she gets herself up onto a table or something, and just all these little
little weenie dogs,
just jumping up. I think there was a border collie also or something.
But they're not that big either.
I don't think so. She'd have to just go one more step.
One more step.
So we have pissed off somebody on TikTok, but you know what? There are like 8 kabillion people on there. So this one douchebag can just fuck right off.
Yeah.
So you had a bad weekend in one regard, and I'm going to go ahead and say it was about your football teams.
Oh my God.
Do you have anything to say? Or do you just want to just forget about it?
Well, so I am going to bring up the fact that my girlfriend never really followed American football until she started seeing me.
Right.
And I think I'm leading her down the wrong path of teams to follow. So on Saturday, she was at home. Hey, is there any football on TV to watch? And I said, well, the Longhorns already played and
lost.
And I said, there's a good Texas A&M's playing Alabama. That should be a fun game. She's like, okay, I'm going to watch that. I said, okay, well, make sure you root for Alabama. She's like... By
the way, anybody listening, remember, we're not all local here. There might be some worldwide. Somebody in the Philippines has no idea who the fuck Texas and Texas A&M are. 2 rival colleges, the 2 flagship universities.
There you go. So Texas A&M is playing Alabama. I said, that should be a good game to watch. I said, root against Alabama. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that because it's a Texas team. I'm going to root for the Texas team. I was like, all right, cool. So she's rooting for this Texas team. And
good for her.
I'm at the gym. I'm not watching the game, but apparently there was a time that they weren't playing too well. So she reaches back out. Is there another team in Dallas I can root for?
She gave up quickly.
And I said, well, there's SMU and then there's TCU. TCU, sorry.
Sounds like another dog.
Yeah. So there's SMU and TCU. And she goes, you know what? I guess I'm just going to root for Texas. I said, that's my girl.
Your team, yeah.
The Longhorns. I said, that's my girl. She goes, but I'm not going to wear that ugly color. So you're going to have to find another color that I can wear.
Good with them. For her.
So I thought that was funny. She goes, I actually do like the maroon that the Aggies are wearing.
She's a smart woman. I think you need to hang on to this one.
Yeah. But then on
That's pretty
Sunday,
funny.
so of course the Longhorns lost. Well, then on
And the
Sunday,
Aggies lost. So she's sitting there going, okay,
Yeah.
you guys suck.
so we get to go to Texas Live. And so she's got her Cowboy jersey on. She's ready to watch the game. And, of course, it's full of 49er fans and stuff like that. So, anyway, we were watching the game.
The Dallas Cowboys played the San Francisco 49ers.
Played the San Francisco 49ers.
Give a little context here.
I wish I could say the Dallas Cowboys played the 49ers, but...
That was what was on the schedule.
Yeah. So, anyway, the cool thing was she watched the game, huge smile on her face, and she's learning the game.
She's liking it.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's liking the game. She's learning the game. She's asking questions. And I didn't realize how damn confusing some of these rules are. But trying to explain it to somebody that never watched it is difficult because I don't understand it at that point. I'm like, this is way fucking difficult. Anyway, but she loved it. We had fun. The Cowboys got the shit beat out of them. But
I kind of enjoyed that
But
part
yeah,
of it.
she had a
I felt
smile on her
bad.
face the whole time. She had a
Yeah.
great time, so that's all that matters.
Some of these rules are hard. You know them, but
Yeah.
you can't explain them.
Right.
It's just like, how do you explain clipping or, even, do you remember any of them?
Like lateral passes, like
Right.
as long as it's a lateral behind the line of scrimmage, or
Right. And if
that
it's
kind
close,
of stuff.
it's where the ball released from
Yeah.
the hand behind the, it's, yeah.
So,
It's
you can
funny,
only pass the ball forward once, so
Right.
that kind of stuff. It's interesting, but yeah.
there's a lot that goes into it.
So it was bittersweet. Had a fun time with her. Fun time with family on Saturday watching the Longhorn game. But
yeah, you had a weekend like I had a couple weeks ago where it was
Yeah.
just like everything football sucked.
yeah.
I at least had the Steelers came through, but barely, and then fantasy team lost. Whatever. I'm about hockey's starting up, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know why
long
you
is
have
hockey,
such.
a
I don't know
month?
why you have such a. No, it's like 9 months.
Oh,
I don't know why you have such a hate for hockey.
when are they going to shorten that season?
They will not.
Oh.
Shorten it. But so just as bad as our football weekend has, some of our weekends have been, are the picks that we've promised you.
Hopefully, you have not taken.
Give us some practice weeks.
There we go.
Because if you have taken this, you will be 1-3.
Oh.
The one lone win was actually me, and I'll get excited about it. I'm going to get excited about anything at this point. So, do you want to recap that real quick from last week?
So my pick, Texas, of course, was favored over OU by 6.5 points. I took Texas with the 6.5 points and lost.
You cannot take your own teams. I'm telling you,
And-
now you were doubly pissed.
Then you took Buffalo, who's favored by 5.5,
Yeah, NFL Buffalo Bills.
and they lost.
They lost outright, and it was kind of surprising. I think no one expected.
Oh, absolutely
that.
surprising. Yeah.
I think they played that in London.
Yes.
And Jacksonville is London's claimed them as their home team, and so they stayed from the week
Yes.
before.
Yet Buffalo was technically the home team in that game.
They were, but Jacksonville stayed, so they didn't have
Jet lag.
any of the
and all that
lag,
stuff.
any of this. Buffalo came off of a very emotional week against Miami where they beat the
huge
shit out of
win,
them.
yeah.
And that's a divisional opponent. And they go out, they go to London, they're probably out, don't get me wrong, and they should go sightsee. And for whatever reason, I don't think it was probably the same Bills team you would see
in America.
in a month in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But that, if I was able to consider all those things and to be more accurate, I would be working in Vegas.
Right.
So
Which we are not.
We'll try this again. How about that, real quick?
Let's roll.
Before we move on. These are our sure thing picks for
Go the opposite is what we're saying.
Maybe that's what we should do: is pick our picks, and then you just take the opposite,
Yeah.
and tell us how much money you win. So, go ahead. If you have your game, go ahead.
So I'm going to go. So there's Chargers are playing the Cowboys on Monday Night Football.
You're gonna
Dallas-
pick a game with your team again.
Dallas is on the road and are favored by 2 points.
That's gonna be a good game.
I'm going to take the Chargers with the 2 points.
Oh, you're gonna go against your. See, that's smarter because if the Cowboys lose, at least you may not give a shit about your picks here on the show, but at least you can say, "All right, we lost, but I got a pick right."
For our listeners.
For our listeners.
Yeah.
I hope
Because
so.
I give a shit about
I
you
hope
guys.
somebody won some money.
Yeah.
And but if you win, then you'll be like, "Fuck the listeners, we won."
Right.
Look, I'm with you. I think I like this pick
Yeah.
better than going with your team. 'Cause
Yeah.
you were doubly. Last week you were like, fuck the listeners and fuck my team. Everything sucks.
We were ranked number 3. Let's roll, bitch.
Yeah.
Did not work.
Well, it was a good game, I guess.
Was it?
From a non somebody that doesn't have an affiliation with either school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to college.
Okay.
Since my NFL time didn't last very long, and I'm gonna take the Dukies. I'm gonna take Duke this week at home.
At home.
Minus 3.5, so favored by 3.5.
Gotcha.
Over the North Carolina. What the hell are the North Carolina State? North Carolina State.
Were they the Wolfhounds?
The Wolf Pack.
Wolf Pack?
Yeah, Wolf Pack. I'm sorry.
North Carolina State.
That's why I'm not picking them because I don't even know what the
We only know what the mascot is.
North Carolina State's just been really bad this year. They, even in their wins, they look bad. And Duke, I tell you what, they have our former defensive coordinator, and they've been winning some games. I mean, they beat the shit out of Clemson. I mean, I just think 3.5 at home. It is a sure thing, people.
Did you see that Miami UCF?
No, they played Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. I was way off.
Yeah.
Your boy, was it Haynes King?
The Aggie, one of Texas A&M's former quarterbacks.
Threw like 5 interceptions, but came back with the winning drive.
That sounds about right for him. Yeah. Good for him.
All Miami had to do was down the ball, and anyway.
They're like, there was some bad clock management.
You think? No shit.
Yeah, it was really bad. So. That's our football segment. And for any of you that don't like football, hopefully you looked at my description and my settings and our details, and you fast forwarded. Because those of you that do like football, I hope you're enjoying this segment.
Yeah. Bet opposite.
Bet opposite of what I picked. So basically, North Carolina State and Dallas.
Boom.
Are you trying to maybe jinx it, like a reverse jinx?
I'll try it. Anything now.
I try that for your team. I bet $5 on your team. And if they win, I'm like, well, damn, they won, but at least I got $5.
Yeah.
And if they lose, I'm like, that was worth it.
Right. Here's $5 more for that fucking loss.
In fact, yeah, there you go. So, all right. The topic tonight, and we were going to talk about, I was going to talk about this with Antoine, and I made a couple of comments during the show with Antoine that I didn't want it to seem like we have him on and then we just talk about black, race, yeah. Even gay stuff to a point. He volunteered some of that on his own.
Right.
So, but there was something that really bothered me that happened last week. I think it was last week, but Trey and I aren't known for precision on the timing. In fact, I think we gave the submarine story like 4 weeks after. No, I'm just kidding. We actually were on time, but that was the one thing we did well. There was a woman by the name of Ariel Atkins. Ariel is a organizer for Black Lives Matter in Chicago. And if
you an organizer of Black Lives
like meetings and rallies, and
she get like t-shirts
and a leader, yeah, I'm sure she does t-shirts and merch,
paint signs and stuff,
maybe some pens. So she organized. How about that? She organized a couple of protests outside of the police departments.
Makes sense.
I'm already upset just by that,
right? Because
it's kind of like I'm tired of this police stuff. We've been through that before, so I won't kind of focus on that part of it as much.
And I'm sorry, this was recently?
This was recently, okay. Yeah. I think in the last couple of years.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. It was like last week.
Gotcha.
And I'm pretty sure I know that for a fact. Watch somebody write. It was like
3 months ago.
Like May. This is springtime. So the flowers were just blooming.
That's hilarious.
In the Chicago spring.
Still snow on the ground.
Happened 3 weeks ago, dude. There's snow in the background.
Oh, shit.
She was quoted because she was asked about all of this looting. Have you been following that? So in Philadelphia and in Chicago, and I'm sure other spots, there's been a lot of looting.
Was it over a specific issue or just in general?
No. That's what's so... Not that I'm aware of. I did a little research on it and listened to some things, and I didn't hear anything where it was like somebody... It wasn't like when all the police issues were happening. The police simply showed up and arrested people who were looting.
Okay, which makes sense.
I mean, I don't think you need a criminal law degree, right?
Looting is breaking the law, right?
Looting is breaking the law. That's right.
Okay.
That's a good job. See, you were a star student in your criminal law degree. And so they interviewed her and about the looting. And this woman said the following: looting is justified. That was just one thing she said. Looting is justified. First off, right there, it's like, okay, there's nothing you can follow that up with. That don't make sense.
And I guess why is looting justified?
Looting is justified.
What is that?
I'm gonna get there.
Oh,
I'm just making it like dramatic, like
Gotcha.
I do. I could have probably got this whole topic done in about 2 minutes.
Dramatic pause.
Dramatic
After
pause.
that, looting is justified.
Looting is justified. She is claiming that they are equal to reparations for black people.
Okay.
Okay. She said, I don't care. Quote, I'm sorry. Quote.
Do we quote marks? This
Quote.
video?
Right. I don't care if someone loots Gucci, Macy's, Nike, because it helps that person to eat. It makes sure that they have clothes. Businesses like these have insurance. They'll be just fine. Take a moment, because hearing that, it just... that's why I didn't bring it up in the last show, because I think I could not possibly think of myself getting heated with Antoine. And I think I might have, because I don't know how somehow people are defending this.
Yeah, I don't.
So the first issue is reparations, right? And trust, I'll let you talk. Do you have something to say right now?
What is reparations?
Reparations.
How do you spell that? Go ahead.
You know what? I actually don't. I think it's REPA, reparations. ARAT, something like that.
Use it in a sentence.
Yes. Black people want reparations for slavery. Still. Not one. I mean, the basic argument, of course, is, and people will fight you on it when you say, well, not one person alive was a slave. In fact, not one person's great grandparent was a slave. Blah blah blah, which is true. What they're arguing for is this whole idea of systemic oppression, which we've talked about a little bit, which is because of slavery and because of the way that African Americans / black people, depending on the time period and what they wanted to be called, were treated up through these time periods. Because of that, they fell behind in ability and some will say in intelligence, others will say no, we secretly studied. In just in life, they were not able to keep up. Their housing developments were built for them, and they were forced out or kept out of some others. And they feel they were held down by whether it's the white man or whether it's governments, which are at the time, of course, mostly filled with white men. And so there are a lot of people that are calling for reparations, meaning basically, in one way or another, pay us for that. Again, not one of them went through that, even back in civil rights. Okay, if you find me a 90-year-old black man or woman that went through back then, let's talk. I'll throw her a little cash and let's help her out, him or her out. But don't come at me as a 30-year-old mom of 5 and say reparations. Don't. How immediately before we go any further, how do you feel about that? Now knowing what reparations means. Have you had time to process and think?
Well, and I'm curious. So, are they looking at Gucci and what all the companies you just said? Gucci, Nike,
Macy's.
Are they looking at this as we're going to loot them because they are white owned? Are they looking at it because it's just because they're big money makers or big?
I think
brands?
she was just giving examples.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like in Chicago, there's the main street for all the corporate shops is called Michigan Avenue.
Okay.
And all like these Nike and Gucci, all that, they have their corporate stores, their headquarters stores, the big fancy where they're looting.
Gotcha.
So I think she was just giving examples. I don't think she was specifying like it had to be.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to loot over here at Apple. We're only going to loot. It doesn't matter. I think. I don't think.
So I guess does she not look at the further down the road what this could lead to as far as maybe losing jobs, maybe people getting fired because they have to pay to replenish, product that was stolen? Does she not look at that aspect of it too? I mean, even, janitors, people come in and clean the building after the fact, people that stock the building, stuff like that. They don't look at down the road as far as, people losing those jobs. Is that not something they take into account?
No, because it's not them, and that's something I've learned, and it's very uncomfortable to talk about, and I know we're going to get some slack for this, and honestly, I don't care if you're somebody that feels like reparations are justified or valid, like real reparations, or that looting is okay. Like reparations, we can talk about separately. California tried to pass some actual reparations laws, and everyone's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And the numbers were ridiculous, but we won't get into that right now. This is about looting, and if anybody thinks that you should be able to break down store windows, go in and just take what you want, because 200 and however many years ago there was slavery and there was oppression and things like that back in the day, and I mean it's
honestly
it's unbelievable to me, actually.
I'd be curious to be down there to interview and see how many percentage of these people that are looting these buildings or whatever, going in, grabbing whatever, how many are actually doing it for a cause?
Sure.
Or how many are seeing,
of course they're not.
Oh, there's a crowd of people breaking and entering these places. Let me just join in and be an idiot, you know?
Yeah, they're just saying whatever they can to say to be able to do it. I mean, I used to say that a lot of time about some of these protests. A lot of them don't even know what they're protesting. They just, here's an opportunity to go out and act like an animal. And again, I say that not, these protests were all races, probably a lot of them majority white.
Yeah.
So when I say acting like animals, I'm not being racist. They were all races that were acting like animals on those protests where they were looting and hammering and smashing buildings.
Well, I've seen protests in the past where they were looting and smashing, just mom and pop shops.
Yeah. Well,
and then they turn around and they're like, well, we need help rebuilding this.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you were the ones that kind of destroyed it. It could have been these mom and pop places that will never be able to bounce back, but you felt it was necessary because of, some action, or you just following a crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, they would chant, and I was in this case fortunate enough for, research for the show, but unfortunate that I had to hear it at night during the protests. I lived in a high-rise downtown, and all that I would hear were things like signs of graffiti and bricks through windows and stuff, and they would all say, "Do you hear us now?" And my immediate response, of course, besides anger, was I hear you, but it's made it worse. You're making it worse. What are you hear what? Hear that you
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, that, and this was a lot of it was a response to the police incidents and all that, which is again a whole nother topic. But if you want, and I said this in that single show I did about Colin Kaepernick, if you want people to listen to you and you want people to hear issues, the best thing to do is probably not go and pillage where they live.
Right.
Ask them if they've heard you, break windows, act like animals, and call them names. You probably want them to be on your side and listen.
Right.
Guess what? I'm not going to listen to this group of people doing what they did. And the looters, it literally is just stealing stuff.
Right. What kind of message is that?
And what kind of message does that send their youth?
Yeah.
And I say there because let's be real, people. Look at the videos. There's not one white looter in there.
I guess like you said, what does it teach? When you feel like something happens to you that's unfair, let's go break windows, let's go steal stuff. Is that how we're supposed to act?
Well, and like I said, so what is a 10-year-old? What does he see when he sees his older brother go do this, or he sees his mom go do this? It's okay.
Right.
What is he being told? That everybody else is evil and he's playing a victim card?
Yeah.
How long is that going to last? And how is it going to help anything? So real fast, I don't want to bore anybody, but I just wanted to see what you thought, but I want to mention about reparations. If you hand out reparations, let's just say you give a wad of cash or Venmo to it's black now, right? Not African American. Antoine told us it was black, to a black person because they're black, just because they're black. They have ancestry that perhaps was a slave. Who knows? Maybe it was one of the black people that owned slaves themselves. We don't know.
Right.
But say you can prove your that's what they say. You've got to prove it. I don't know how they're going to do that. And this person gets some cash. And first off, any children are going to be like, oh, look, cool. We don't have to do shit. They're not motivated. We got this money here. They'll go and get a new car, maybe get a better apartment or whatever. And then what happens when that money's gone? Is there another round? Like, how long do the reparations go? Is it another generation?
What amount would satisfy you
Right.
and make you feel whole?
And the generation below them, the kids, are looking at this and they don't get reparations. And now what are they doing? Nothing. They were not motivated to go get an education,
Right.
not motivated to learn anything, to move beyond being on the streets, which in a sense probably enhances our problem on the streets.
Right.
So I just feel like people need to really think about this, and we need to get to our youth. And I kind of mentioned that last time with Antoine here. We need to get to the youth in the urban areas, in my opinion. That's how to solve a lot of this problem, is to get to them and say, you don't be like this. This isn't the way to do it.
Yeah.
And if reparations come along, okay, great. If everybody starts agreeing and we pass something, great. But don't depend on that. Don't sit there and go, we're owed this, and go march and loot and anyway. I needed to vent a little, I think, on that, because just hearing her say that and those quotes, like, they'll be fine, they have insurance. It's just like,
yeah.
So someone else, because maybe like 6 generations ago, their ancestors went through something different than yours. Like, you're entitled to do this. That's
what I was going to ask, is how many generations back is that?
Well, I mean, we do the math. I think there was slavery up until the Civil War, and a little bit after. Some slaves chose to stay with their owners because they didn't know anything else.
Right.
So they were scared to actually leave. So we don't need to get into history.
Right.
But so up until 1864, which is when Civil War ended, right? Or right around there, 64,
sure,
65.
I'll accept that.
And so, not quite 200 years ago, 107 years ago.
Right. So there's nobody living. So, I mean, I guess.
Right. So great, something. If you have to put more than one great in front of your ancestor's name to prove slavery, then guess what? You should have figured it out by now.
And I'd be curious if anybody's ever done a study on how certain events like this, how many generations does it affect after that?
Yeah.
So, and then, okay, let's look at that. So does it affect 2 generations, more than that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that'd be interesting to find out too.
Yeah, and I like this conversation, and we don't have to have it with just Antoine. We can maybe have one of our other black friends on.
Right.
But but it does add perspective when it is from somebody other than the two of us. I get that, but I needed to bring it up, and we were already talking a little bit about race with John Romano and that whole story. So I didn't want to bring this up then, and because, as you can tell, I'm a little more. I don't know if agitated is the right word. I'm just kind of like sickened by this notion that anybody, I don't care who you are, could justify it. Even the people looting were probably like, yeah, I'm looting. This is wrong, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Look at this new Gucci. Look at these new Gucci shoes or whatever the hell they got.
And again, at one point, do you stop? Okay.
Yeah.
We paid this generation this.
Yeah.
Does this generation say they're owed it too, and so on and so forth?
How long does looting last? I mean,
right.
Does every store have to worry about this? And for a while after the protest, the city was boarded up. I mean, it looked like a freaking apocalypse, like our zombie apocalypse.
That sucks.
So we'll move on. I just wanted to bring it up and see what you thought. I mean, do you have anything else? I feel like I just babbled the whole time, but sometimes I just have to to give my thoughts on it. And I want people to hopefully listen and think and really think about it. I'm not being racist. I'm being real. I'm just saying, look, let's figure out the actual problem, which is, in my opinion, the youth and how they're being raised, family life, school, education, all these things. That's what we need to be focusing on. And man, I will get behind that 100%.
Yeah.
In fact, I've done it before. I've gone to underprivileged schools and helped out. I mean, I've done it a ton, more than people would ever imagine. No one knows that. Well, some people know that, but nobody thinks that. So that I can help out. So.
And again, I just don't understand how throwing money at a situation, how much money does that? I mean, how do you put a number to that?
Yeah.
If you really feel like this has really held you down, How do you put a number to that?
Yeah, I mean, is it 50K? Is it 100K? I mean, the people in California are talking about $1 million, up to $1 million. Now they're talking about spreading it out over a certain amount of years, but still, per person,
Right.
And there are a lot of people.
And for, how many people get this and how many years, how far back do you go back?
Yeah, it's a mess. And then you're talking about the majority of the country going, hello, where are you getting that money from?
And then if you run out of the money, you're going to start looting again because...
That's the point. What happens after and guess where the money's coming from? Other people's tax dollars.
Right.
So it is a good conversation to have, and we'll kind of follow through. This lady irked me, so I had to mention it on our show. Let's do this is a new segment, so I'm going to let you kind of intro it here. Trey did a lot of. I love how I say that. I'm going to let you intro it, but I'm going to keep talking. We did a lot of the facts, the fun facts about things scarier than horror, and we did fun, crazy deaths, and so I think you have a new category, and I'm excited.
Yeah, this is one thing each U.S. state is worst at.
Ooh, I love it. Who cares what everybody's best at? That's stupid.
So this is worst at. So.
All right, worst at.
We'll start, and
it goes in alphabetical order.
Yeah, so we'll start alphabetical order. So we'll start with Alabama.
Oh God,
they've got the most child smokers.
See, some of these I'm not going to be surprised at.
Yeah.
So child under 18.
It says Alabama raised its smoking age to 19, but this measure is seemingly improving health but this measure on seemingly improving health is about as helpful as fast food restaurants listing how many calories are in their huge burgers.
I do love that. That's kind of funny.
So yeah.
This burger is 4,000 calories. Oh, I better put it down.
Yeah.
I was unaware that it was unhealthy.
Let me not add the extra cheese.
What if I take a slice of cheese off?
So then we got Alaska. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what Alaska is the worst at. They've got the highest chlamydia rate.
I was thinking something. I know this sounds so bad, and Alaska people don't. I was thinking something with the Eskimo or something, dog races, or you think Alaska?
Maybe. No wonder those dogs are so damn fast.
Oh my God.
They got those
those
Eskimos chasing after that ass.
And there goes our Alaska listeners. We're gonna stay. When we do this segment now, we're gonna lose state by state all our listeners.
It says so much oil money went around that led to pretty bad choices. It said, but it is the state with the lowest population density and the coldest average temperature. So lonely Alaskans really want another warm body.
What else is there to do but fornicate?
Yeah. Oh. So a lot of people scratching. Is that what chlamydia causes?
I don't actually know. Do you know what the side effects are?
Can you get rid of chlamydia?
I always said side effects. The symptoms of chlamydia.
Just saying chlamydia sounds like it makes me itch right now. Anyway, so we'll go to the next one.
I don't even know if that's an itching. Go ahead.
Is it an oozing?
I
don't know. Arizona.
Okay, Arizona. Let me think. Something about a desert or a golf course or a coyote. Okay, our cactus. They're the worst cactus. Go ahead.
Worst at going to the dentist. Well, that's kind of boring.
Yeah, but Arizona? I wouldn't have thought that.
It says about 60% of the people in Arizona admitted to not getting regular dental exams.
60%?
Yeah. It says makes sense if you're retired and have dentures, but really gross. That was kind of dumb.
Well, but if that's what they're worst at, Trey.
I guess, yeah. Good job, Arizona.
We have 47 more states. Not tonight. Don't worry, everybody.
No. Arkansas.
Oh, goodness.
I can only imagine.
Oh, man.
Worst at marrying outside the family?
Backwoods, something. Backwood. Okay. All right.
Shit.
Go ahead.
Fewest advanced degrees per capita.
There we go.
Good job, Arkansas. So only 6.1% of Arkansas residents have an advanced degree or higher. So professors looking for a job should think long and hard before moving here.
Didn't we have a show recently where we talked about the one of our former presidents, Bill Clinton? Isn't that where he's from?
Yeah.
So we had a president from the state with the lowest. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
And so let me.
So we're gonna do just 5 tonight.
We'll do 5.
Okay. So we have that. Look, if my math is right, that means we have one more tonight.
We'll just have 10 episodes of this.
I see what you did. That was pretty good.
You like that? So then we've got California.
Okay, we're away from A's.
We already ran through the A's. The B's are gone. So now we're running into the C's.
California. I don't even.
California. Biggest weed smokers.
That you would think that or
worst at homeless.
Well, now.
Now?
I guess this is probably an all man, something with the ocean or surfing or
worst swimmers. Worst at shark attacks.
Yeah, we're worst at orca.
The orcas.
The orcas. Okay, what is it?
Most polluted cities.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I don't know why does that make me happy? I
thought they all have to drive electric cars and
right. That's what I mean.
Drink from paper straws and all that bullshit.
These California people, and I know there are plenty moving here, so whatever. But you're moving to our state, so whatever. But they're always so smug, right?
Yeah.
And they're always so you need to do this and we need to do that and in fossil fuels and you're telling me that their cities are the most polluted cities in the country.
Cities, yeah. It says people everywhere know the air in Los Angeles feels similar to the one in a Mad Max movie. But hit up Bakersfield, Modesto, Sacramento, and Fresno. Not much difference. I've been to Fresno.
I feel bad for Bakersfield too. That's where Korn. That's where my favorite band is from.
Okay.
So.
And then,
but I don't think they still.
I thought Modesto was a beer. Is that not?
Modelo.
Oh, got it. Okay, a little off there.
Close.
As if people needed another reason to not visit Fresno. I've been there before. Yeah, it does stink. So yeah.
Okay, so California is polluted, and I don't want to hear it, Californians.
Yeah, good job, California.
Yeah, Texas is.
I wonder they're moving to Texas.
Yeah, Texas is not as polluted as you guys, so we're going to do things our way.
And they've got the mountains and the oceans. How do they fucking know?
I know. Because they think they know it all.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job.
Yeah, I like these. These will be fun.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I wonder when we get to Texas. I'm scared now.
Yeah, I know. We have a ways. If we're doing alphabetical.
Yeah, thank goodness.
We have what, 7 days? 8 days?
Yeah.
Figure it out. I like that. Let's do some self-awareness before we wrap it up. Do you have some self-awareness?
Awareness of self-awareness.
Are you aware of anybody that needs to be more self-aware? Is that the way? Yeah, that's the way I put it.
We're doing the gas station one.
Yeah, let's do the gas. We talked about a gas station.
So I did pull up to a gas station to fill up gas, and there was a gentleman that had
good place. That's a good place to get gas.
So I pull in head on because anyway. So the guy is pulled in and
next to the pump.
Next to the pump.
Okay.
In the middle of the 2 pumps. So that I can't pull up. So I pull up as closely as I can, and he's looking at me like I'm an asshole.
Oh, you're the one.
Like he was worried I'm going to run him over.
Right.
So I get out.
Well, you do have a big truck.
Right. So I get out and I get the gas, pay and get the little gas nozzle out, and I go all the way to as far as I could, and I can't reach it. I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? So I look at the guy again.
Is he in his car?
He's in his car, just hanging out. And it's not even to get gas. So his gas tank is on the other side.
What?
So I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he's just hanging out.
So he wasn't getting gas? He's just sitting in his car?
Just sitting in his car, looking at me like I'm an idiot. So I get back in my truck.
Now it taken a whole... What?
And I start pulling a little closer to him. And then finally he realizes, oh, okay, let me move out of the way. So he backs up. And you see him kind of, with his... nobody can see my... but yeah, they're with the head bob like I'm the idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pulled up on him even further until he finally moved back. So yeah, it's like, come on, man.
Do you think he was just like, this guy's a big truck, fuck him?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
If it was a small car, he'd be able to get in there?
Right. Well,
the bottom line is that he's not getting...
He's not even getting gas.
But that leads me to mine.
Okay.
Even if you are getting gas, have some sort of an awareness, if you will, of like I always tell people, I know my car. When they go, oh, that was close when you pulled in. I know my car.
Right.
Damn it, tomorrow I'm gonna
scrape
run into something. But be aware that when you pull into a gas station, that you're not at a complete angle and you're 4 feet away and you're in the middle like that getting gas.
Right.
Because then someone else can't get to the pump behind or in front of you. And that was mine that happened when I went out of town. So I drove on a little road trip to see my college football team lose. And I went down and I went to get gas and I was trying to pull in and I was like, this person's just sitting there pumping gas, but the whole pump, the whole line is as far as it goes in the thing. And so they're that far away towards my pump. And that's the only open pump. And I was just like, I had to wait. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Was it a kid? Was it an adult?
No, it was an adult.
Yeah.
He was, definitely an adult.
Yeah.
He's just a big boy with a big beard.
Oh, okay.
The old Texas boy.
Yeah.
This was in the middle of
You don't
nowhere.
give a shit.
And it wasn't a big truck or anything. It was a smaller car, but it was just like, all right, dude.
Really?
So that was one of mine. And, we've talked about getting on the highway. I had a lot of that this weekend. Just people getting on the highway going 15 miles an hour. And I'm behind them. And so as they're getting on, not only is the car that's coming up in the right lane going fast, I have to slow down for them, but then it's me, and then it gets all awkward.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude.
Gets all awkward. You're looking at each other.
Press 15 miles an hour. Press the pedal. I mean, just go. So I had a few of the ones we've already talked about.
You have to nudge them off the road just to get going again.
just push them off.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's tons on the road, but that was that one. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I did have a scenario.
Is it car related?
No, it's parents related.
Thank goodness. I always feel like we only do cars, but there are other people out there that piss us off.
Parents may not believe that their kids are gross, but kids can be gross. Keep an eye on them. I was at a...
Are you looking at me?
You have kids, right?
I do.
Okay. So yeah, I'm looking at you.
Okay. Fair enough.
You see the nose picking and rubbing on things and stuff. Just kind of keep an eye on. Give them a Kleenex. Help them out. But what tops it off is I was at a Subway, and
sounds good.
I was sitting there waiting on my food, and a mother walks in, a little girl, and mother's holding the little girl's hand.
How old do you think the little girl was?
3.5, maybe 4.
She's either 3 or 4.
Yeah. No, she may have been even a little bit older. Anyway, so mom's holding the little girl's hand, sweet moment, right? Until you look and the little girl has her other hand about elbow deep down the back of her pants. I don't know what she's doing, what she's checking for.
She had an itchy asshole.
But how does the mom not notice that the little girl has her arms down her damn pants?
Well, or did she notice and she just didn't care?
To top it off, the little girl pulls her hand out of her pants and proceeds to just basically drag her hand down the wall.
Of course.
All the way down to the bathroom. So I'm just like, really? Really? So yeah. So anytime you hear me say Subway, that means don't touch anything. So that's
I'm sure it
my code word.
doesn't just happen at Subway.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, no, I'm saying if you're walking on the street and I say Subway, don't touch it.
I see.
Or in another restaurant, Subway, don't touch it.
Yeah.
That's the code word.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of a scenario where this little girl's innocent, but she's just not, is she?
And I'm not even blaming it on the little girl.
I'm kidding. So you think the mom was aware? You think she saw it? It was obvious. It was that obvious.
I mean, it was very obvious. Yes, it was very obvious.
Okay.
But the mom is not paying attention enough to notice that her little girl's hands are all the way down the pants and stuff like that.
Well, I can assure you that neither of my boys will itch their butt. I don't know why I just did this. I rotated my finger in a circle for those that can't see.
Would you say, let me take my finger and go investigate that?
Yeah. Hey, that was an old show.
That was an old show. That was funny, though.
Investigate that with my finger.
There we go. Investigate.
When you have an itch in there, you investigate it with your finger. And I can guarantee you that if I see my kid with his hand in his butt, we're going to wash our hands immediately. I won't let him wipe it on the walls. Is that okay?
That's fair
If
enough.
I guarantee you that, I won't be one of those parents.
Because, I mean, if you're walking as many steps as they took, the parent should have noticed a little bit quicker. I understand. Kids are going to do...
and where else is she going to do that?
I get it. Kids are going to do gross things. I get it.
What if she did it on where all the napkins are?
Luckily, I saw them.
And the condiments.
It was basically they walked in, they went straight to the bathroom. So I don't know if there was
not
an
this
agenda
one.
already.
What if there was another child that did that,
instance,
or anywhere that you If you think about it, that because this isn't the only girl that does that,
right? I mean, I go nuts when my nephews will get the table chips or something.
Yeah,
they take a bite of one chip and then throw it back in there. I'm like,
yeah, double dipping gets me too, unless you give permission.
Or you give them a bite of something, and
Yeah.
I don't like it, and then they throw it back on your plate. I'm like, you little son of a...
Yeah. Or they
I take
throw
my
it
brother
at my
outside
face.
and whoop his ass because of it. So
Well, that's easy because
Yeah.
it's your brother. I think I told you when my kid threw a piece of sushi at me, and I was upset because not only was it good sushi,
Right.
it was expensive, but he just threw a piece of sushi at my face.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be some disciplinary in action here. But anyway,
foot to ass is what they call it.
exactly. Yeah, well, that's it for tonight, and I had a good time. Hope I wasn't too mean about the Black Lives Matter woman. I'm sure she's a lovely woman. I just didn't like a few things that she said.
Yeah, that's okay.
And Trey and I are planning on having a couple of guests coming up here. I know we're just guests. We
been fun.
We had Timmy on, and he told us about duct tape and Gorilla Glue.
Speed tape.
And we've had some pretty good responses. People are enjoying that. And then
Please know Tim is a friend of ours.
Tim is a friend of ours. So
give him shit.
Yeah, that was another
Out of
thing.
love.
I had a lot of comments that were like, everybody, I feel bad for the person being interviewed.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. No, we know him. He's our buddy, and he took it like a champ. And so we have some guys some other people coming in that we know for different reasons, and we'll talk about a lot of different things.
Should be fun.
So I think maybe the next two. So we'll go from there. We'll see.
Hopefully they're aware of how we act.
Yeah. Well, and if they're not, it might make for a better show.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Or a shorter show.
Or a shorter show, which is what we're ultimately trying to do.
Oh, shit.
All right, brother. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Later.
Love you.
You know what?
What?
I'm going to see if my girlfriend will play the letter P game with me. See if we can connect a few P words together.
I'm glad I could inspire role playing with you guys.
Show and tell, baby.
So,